Forget the running game.
I think it's more defense than the running
throwing
game than anything.
Yeah.
No, dude, just win the damn game. That's it.
No,
That's
no
it.
shit.
And irrational
What a guy. What a guy. Yo,
whatever needs to be
What an
done,
analysis.
win the damn game.
What is up, everybody? We got Dave.
That was pointing at me.
Yeah, no, Dave. Last time he was the intro. He's got to direct the fingers at the right direction. We got a fellow friend, but enemy this week.
Howdy, partner.
A repeat onto the Melo Confirmo podcast.
First return
He was
guest.
he was the first guest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have been the first guest.
I was the first. It was
I
like
think he
week
was
2
the
or
first guest.
3.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me because it's Christmas and I wanted to get our first recurring guest a gift.
Oh, a beautiful gift! Wow.
You're such a
nice
person.
What could this be?
I'm a nice guy. What do I
Man,
tell you?
friendly,
just-
friends.
Let's see. Let's take a look.
It's really nice, actually. That's what you're gonna be holding on Christmas Eve.
Let's
Bozo.
go.
Welcome back.
What a gift!
I'm
What a gift!
Welcome back.
This side of the table.
Wait, which one's the ashtray?
We can use this hat if you just open it up.
No.
Welcome back, Lou.
It's good to be back. It's been a great year so far for both teams. Let's be honest, winning records. Best season so far, Dolphins. Your lifetimes.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but yeah, so far things are tracking the very good in a very good direction.
Okay.
There's still 3 games left. A lot can happen.
A lot can happen.
Look at Philly, lost 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen to us, but
Those Seahawks
a
showed
lot,
up.
every game counts at this point, and I'm very happy how the Dolphins backed themselves up after the week before having a bad loss. They showed up. They showed up on every facet of the game. Tua played great. Defense is fucking awesome.
It's on fire.
I mean, Chubb had a chip on his shoulder. You could tell because of that penalty. And I mean, I don't even think he had a bad game in that game.
He hasn't had a bad game.
He knew that play obviously hurt the team, and he took it upon himself to like bounce back heavy. And some were saying that was the best game of his career, and he was even like, yeah, it might have been. 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 7 tackles. I mean, talk about straight dominance from a guy.
Yeah, and the thing about this game too is like, obviously we're coming off a historically bad fumbling of a game,
and what do Dolphins usually do at this time of the season after a loss like that?
December is usually not our friend, at least in our lifetimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we went out depleted. No X, no Colin, no Reek, no Connor, obviously. No, Ellie, like everybody. You can list that. You saw the lineup of like in practice, like leading up. You can like
when you sent me the injury report the day before, the hour before, I was like, oh god,
exactly. But we did what good teams do and went out depleted and beat the shit out of a shitty team. Yeah. So honestly, I have no real complaints or anything. I mean, you won 30-0. Tua, like you said, Waddle played really well. Defense continues to be lights out. Chubb, the whole line, dude, and David Long, dude, Duke Riley stepping up, like. It's literally across the board. We are, we're in a good place. Obviously the Titans thing really sucked, but I think like actually the for Hard Knocks tonight they released like the Mike McDaniel like to hype it up, and it was getting me hyped up. Like that was like a legit, and he was saying it's like this is gonna be the best thing that's happened to us because we're gonna make it be the best thing that's happened to us, and I love that mentality.
I do.
Hopefully we're gonna get healthier for this game. We're gonna beat the shit out of this guy. So
listen, I want to mention one thing. Zach Wilson, apparently his mom came out at the end of the game, and he was playing concussed. I was like, oh Lord! So not only they just got the shit killed, like beat out of them, now they're gonna deal with NFL and the whole concussion protocol thing. I think that this is. I mean, you guys are.
I will say this. I don't think the
Cancel.
Jets were like, oh my god, we have to keep Zach Wilson in this game.
No, they were probably good. Thank God.
Like, if they saw he was probably concussed, I think they would have been very happy to take him out of that game.
And what do you think Aaron Rodgers thinks? Did you think he just he said,
No.
I'm 100%, I'm playing?
That was always BS. There was no way that dude was coming back.
There's no way.
You want to know how it was complete BS? Look at this tweet today on the McAfee show from Aaron Rodgers. And this told me everything. Aaron Rodgers says on the Pat McAfee show that if he were 100%, he'd be pushing to come back, but he's not there. This is Aaron Rodgers' quote, being medically cleared as 100% healed is not realistic at 14 weeks.
That's literally what he said.
Like, what happened? Like,
that literally counters everything that he's been saying the whole process about saying that he was going to come back, and he's like, oh no, being medically cleared at 14 weeks was never realistically possible.
If they won, he would have come back.
No, he wouldn't have.
No.
He cleared. What he would have? Then what would have the statement been then?
If they had won, wasn't there like?
He just said that if he wasn't 100%, he wouldn't come back.
No, there was no way, and it couldn't be happening to a better team.
The Jets won, they technically may have had a.
That was the rumor that they wanted to put out there.
If they were a above 500 team,
they would have been a 5-win team with 3 games left.
No, but what I'm saying is like they could have mathematically had a chance to.
Mathematically, they wouldn't have been mathematically.
There's no way that dude was coming back. There's no way.
That O-line is awful.
Yeah. I wouldn't even know why. If I was him, I wouldn't even know why I would even want to come back.
That's what I'm saying.
Heal up and come back next year.
Team
sucks.
Left Hard Rock like.
We finished with 6 sacks, and I think the first time we played him, we sacked him 6 times too.
That O-line is
that fumble sack when he just turned.
Chubb
killed him. Chubb
murdered him. I was like, "Is he okay?" Because instantly I was like, "Dude, I think that guy."
Chubb literally swallowed him.
He hard. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. And it was this close to Christian Wilkins anytime touchdown. You see, Christian Wilkins, I don't think knew.
That was this close.
Dude, close. I don't think he knew that the ball got fumbled. You just see him walking off the field like celebrating, and I'm like. Bro, the ball's there. Pick it up. See, they're almost with 2 in a row.
With
2 in a row, but he had to feed Mostert to help break the record. Mostert with 20 touchdowns, man. We got to talk about Mostert. We haven't given him enough love. We've talked about Reek. We've talked about Tua. We've talked about the defense. Let's talk about Mostert for a second. Mostert's second in rushing in the NFL right now, and is first in TDs, tied with Christian McCaffrey.
Offensive Player of the Year.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if it wasn't for McCaffrey,
there's only one offensive player of the year. It's not AFC now.
No, if it wasn't for McCaffrey or Reek, a couple other receivers that maybe deserved it, then maybe you can make that argument that they have a that they definitely have a chance. But Mostert clearly should at least be in the discussion.
I think if it was up to me, I mean, he'd probably be third in the discussion.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be Reek, McCaffrey, him. Or McCaffrey, Reek, whichever.
The one that was kind of pacing there for a second was AJ Brown, but I mean that's not going to happen anymore.
The Eagles are falling off.
So like the way, I mean, if you as we get closer and closer to the season, I mean, it's between him, Tyreek, and
Jalen Hurts' quote is getting real empty. Jalen Hurts' quote is empty.
Do you put the blame on Hurts at this point? Like, what's the problem in Philly?
I don't know. I mean,
let's talk about the coach.
I think Sirianni should get some heat.
That coach just has such a negative.
Such a douche.
I mean, did you not see when he was clapping?
I hated him in that.
When you saw when he was clapping in that game when Pete Carroll called a timeout and then they threw a challenge flag and you see his mouth.
He's like, "What are you doing?" or something like that.
Yeah, what are you doing? And you just see him clearly looking at Pete Carroll, and I'm like, dude, that's just complete disrespect. Like a lot, like I can't stand like that guy. I mean, Eagles in general I can't stand, but that coach is the epitome of just asshole.
Something has always kind of, I mean, look, you got to give him credit. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl last year and they played a very competitive game, and they're still a very good team. But there's something a little off because I remember it was like week 4 or week 5 when AJ Brown was getting in Jalen Hurts' face because he wasn't getting the ball. And like they were still winning games. It's not like they weren't winning games. Like they're
like undefeated for a while.
That's what I'm saying. And like
they gave him the ball, and then they were doing great. And then the last 3 weeks of just slowly.
The curse of the tush push.
I mean, look, I have AJ Brown on my fantasy team, so here we are with 1 game away from the championship. So keep feeding AJ Brown. That's all.
Feed him more, honestly, because I have him in the league too. And like last few weeks, he hasn't been.
He hasn't been.
Last week was pretty good.
Nothing crazy, but I need a monster game from him. The guy that was great for me this week was Higgins. With that touchdown that he got and reaching over the pylon.
That was crazy.
He's a beast.
That was an insane catch.
Yeah. But I do like the way the Dolphins responded this past week. I do think it was the game that we needed to get. It's a different narrative. But on the other side of who we play this weekend, you guys had the reverse. We had a dominant win. You guys got dominated by Buffalo.
You had one job.
Yeah, we
had
And
one
that was
job.
your motor
The one
rocket
time
week
I-
last week, right?
Well, that and the Waddle touchdown, so 1 for 1.
the one time I ever root for the Cowboys and you guys just shit the bed.
You know what it is? I think our mentality coming to that game, like, okay, at 1 o'clock, once those 1 o'clock games ended, we clinched playoffs. So we have one side of the field that we're going, hey, listen, we're going to Buffalo. We're 5-0. We won
But you're
5
playing
in a
for
row, and we're
seeding.
going away.
Loser mentality. Loser
No,
mentality.
no,
Yeah,
just,
for real.
just
Such a
hear me
cowboy.
out. Hear me out. We go over there in Buffalo. If Buffalo loses this game, they're out of the playoffs. They're practically out because we're.
Oh, every game for them right now is a playoff game.
It is a
basically.
playoff game, so their mentality is like, hey, we are putting our hearts out there. We got to go all out. But you know what? When they scored on the opening drive, in my mind, I was like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
this isn't good.
Yeah.
I knew instinctively that crowd and that team was so fired up that it was just one of these things like.
Okay, but let's
Dude.
also remember how they scored that first touchdown. You guys got to stop on 3rd and goal.
We did.
Then they threw a 3rd down penalty, and that ended up becoming the narrative for the first half, basically, where every pretty much stop that you guys got on 3rd down ended up being a flag. That ultimately led to a touchdown on that drive.
The
You
Cowboys are the most penalized team in the NFL. And I know it's on there's a personnel mistakes that happen. It was the punt where the guy jumps up straight up in the air, tries to block a punt,
That
hits
one
someone
was
on
tough.
the
That one
fourth.
too. That one was tough.
Fourth down, that's a tough one. There was also a clear fumble when we were down by like 14 or 10 or wherever we were. That was a clear fumble, but they snapped the ball quickly. They reviewed the play after. It's like, hey, it was a clear punch out.
Yeah, they got to stop the game. They got to stop the game there.
Recover the ball. So by that point,
I thought it was a very poorly officiated game. And maybe I'm a little biased because I really wanted you guys to win. Yeah. But these roughing the passer calls are starting to get out of control.
It's always especially on him.
And he gets every call. I was telling him before we got on here, he was on his way down to the ground. He's already looking at the ref, like looking to see if he's going to get the call. It's like,
yeah,
dude,
he got
play football.
And if that flop compilation that he has, is like,
he fucking throws his body.
But honestly, the thing that I took the most from your rant was that you said that the Cowboys don't have heart.
It's not that they didn't have heart. It's that we clinched a playoff game. The other team is fighting for their lives.
No, there's no way that was the mentality going on.
You know what it is?
You guys are fighting for your lives too.
You know what it is?
Yeah, the Eagles chomping at your bit.
Listen, just like the Dolphins lost to the Titans, being up 14 points with 3 minutes left.
Best thing that ever happened to us.
Same thing happened.
Well, yeah.
Or more like a really bad choke job. But
you're down like 30 in the first half.
Listen,
yeah,
it happens. Listen, but it happens. It's
I don't know.
NFL.
They beat the brakes off us too.
In any given week,
but it's all
a
good.
team can win and a team can lose. Plain and simple.
No.
Going 5 in a row is great. Yes, we beat up on bad teams just like the Dolphins do. But, it was just we went to Buffalo and Buffalo played probably their best game of the year.
Outside of probably the game that they played against us.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Besides you guys, they were just dominant. The running game was just, my goodness, James Cook cooked us.
I think you guys also got out coached in that game. I feel like there was no adjustments to try to stop the run. Josh Allen didn't have to do anything, and they won by 30.
Barely threw for 100 yards.
He didn't even hit 100 yards.
But
it was 250 scrimmage yards on the ground, and I was just like, I'll be honest. At that halfway to the fourth, I just had to. Yeah, I looked at my girlfriend and I'm like, hey, let's watch some Ted Lasso, right?
Yeah.
Quick switches to TV.
You need that heart, dude.
Dude, it was just tough. It's tough. How did you feel when the Titans came out and scored? Where did the heart go at the end of the game? It just goes out the window because we care about these teams so much.
Oh, trust me. We know. We
were hurting.
We were hurting last week.
We were hurting.
Yeah,
we're back.
We're back.
But we knew we were back. It was a 30-minute conversation, and we knew we were good. Is that how you're going to feel going into this week?
No. This week, I feel like we're going to destroy the Dolphins. And hear me out. Hear me out why.
Oh, God.
I think this is a more important game for the Dolphins. But Cowboys are 9-0 when they lose the week before.
We
come out firing hard because we know, hey, it's a get right. You said at halftime we didn't make adjustments. You best believe this next week preparing for Noche Buena against the Dolphins.
You think the Dolphins are going to lose a Noche Buena game?
Yeah,
come on, bro.
Dude,
that's our fucking Christmas. That's our New Year's.
Dude.
That's our
birthday. You also have a losing record on the road.
That's okay.
Where are you on?
And what's your record
You're on the road,
versus
baby.
a winning team?
Probably the same as yours.
I don't think so because we beat the Eagles, and yes, the Eagles have been falling off, but that's still great. But what's your record?
We have one
compared to a winning team. An actual
I'm just gonna look at strength
team.
of wins.
We have
just go for that.
We have one. We only have one because the Broncos is the only one.
Let's see.
That's now.
Which the Broncos have been playing much better, which I didn't expect.
So
honestly.
I think it is only the Broncos
standing.
And the Cowboys this week.
Expanded.
Our true game that we really seriously showed up was the Eagles game. And then we go to the following.
You let it all out that game. It's okay.
It's not that we let it all out.
You let it all out. That's all you had.
It was an important game. And,
it is. That game was
we didn't just beat them. We destroyed.
Your guys' strength of victory percentage is 379. Ours is 321. It's relatively equal.
Well, I will say I hate the narrative of that. I hate the Dolphins haven't beat anyone good. Same with the Cowboys. The Cowboys haven't beat anyone good. I hate that narrative. It's like you were saying. You beat the teams in front of you, and we've done it better than anybody. And I'm saying we. Like
any given Sunday, anything can happen. How many good teams have lost to bad teams this year?
It's us. Both of us have had that one slip up. Ours was against the Titans. Yours was against the Cardinals. Like it happens, but like for the most part, we've beaten the shit out of the teams that we're supposed to beat. Yeah. And so I hate that narrative.
No, it's dumb.
It's a dumb narrative.
It was a narrative that teams or analysts or whoever you want to call it wanted to create a story about this team being not what it was until they can prove that they did it. But God forbid you lose a Week 6 game against the Eagles on the road, right?
Yeah, it
after the Eagles had just lost a game, right? Because if you look at the teams that we've lost to as well, one, both of them were in the Super Bowl last year. Okay, two, they were on the road. Three, they were both coming off a loss.
And why isn't every other good team beating up on bad teams too?
Because it's the NFL. It doesn't just happen like
Ravens
that.
2 weeks ago won on a punt return in overtime, and they're like look at that, and they're the number one team right now in the AFC. But they just almost, so it's like, you start talking about like our teams.
I'll feel okay about losing to the Eagles in Week 6 when I'm in the fucking AFC Championship. You know, like what the fuck does a Week 6 game mean at the end of the day?
Baby, love that.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah. That's why that narrative always makes sense. Doesn't make sense to me. But now this is a huge week.
Now December's when it matters.
It's the two teams that they've talked it up that they can't. Now they play each other. Some have labeled it the fraud bowl. I have labeled it the beat the shit out of Lou game. And I am ready, and I truly believe that not only are we going to beat you, we're going to beat you 40-0. So
40-0?
40-0.
That's what you're calling.
Actually, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
It's going to be a lot of.
It's 30. It was going to be 30.
A lot of smack talking.
I know Noche Buena. Be watching it with this guy. I'm going in enemy territory. Your pops better be ready. This is a message to Lewis Senior.
You're coming.
I am coming in
Dallas Cowboy.
God, couldn't be less scared. I'm gonna storm those gates. You better. I'm staring right at you. Fernie too. You guys are done. You guys are so done. I can't wait. We actually. I don't think I've even told you. We have a bet. Because we're going to Disney in later, I think January or something. And the loser, if I lose, I have to wear full cowboy gear to the park.
Wow.
I think that cowboy hat included. And then if he loses,
it's ready for you.
he's gonna have to go decked out in full Eagles gear.
Wow. It wouldn't be fair if I wore Dolphins gear. Because I'll be honest, I root for the
Dolphins. That's what I was about to say. I don't feel like that's a fair thing. Okay, so
that's why it's the Eagles.
The Eagles thing. The Eagles thing's good to me. That makes sense.
Freaking Eagles.
All right, I want to hear what why you think the Cowboys are gonna win.
Okay, I seriously think the Cowboys are gonna win this week because of our.
You also said that you were gonna murder us. So explain why you're gonna win and why you're gonna murder us.
Oh, okay.
Good point.
We're gonna murder you guys.
Okay.
Specifically because of our pass rush, and I feel like our bounce back games are a lot better than on a win streak. When Dak Prescott loses a game, those guys, that team gets in the locker room for the next week, and they mentally prepare like no other team does.
Okay, so let's
look at the stats. Dak. Well, let's talk about Dak a little bit, because last time I was on this podcast, you guys were debating with me, is Dak Prescott a top 10, top 15 quarterback? And I had my arguments and I had my doubts, but statistically, what Dak Prescott has done, and it hasn't been from Tony Pollard. It has not been from Tony Pollard. It has not been from our running game. It's been from our quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Absolutely.
That we paid all our money.
Dak's played great.
2 weeks ago, he was in an MVP candidate. And I was
probably
like,
the
at
leader
the beginning of the season, we were like,
guy,
this guy's just a game manager. And it's like, no. Mike McCarthy might be doing these slant routes, little wheel
Dax
routes,
had a great
very
year.
dump routes.
Yeah,
He
He cleaned up the turnovers. He's been very
He did.
efficient, and he's had a
did.
great season.
He's moved in my personal ranking from 30 to probably around 18.
That's so.
But let's go
kidding me?
let's go to your argument about when Cowboys lose a game and how they bounce back, right? After a loss, right? So they lost to the Cardinals in week 3, right? Following that game, they played the Patriots at home. We all know who the Patriots are this year. They beat them 38-3. Good win. It was against the Patriots at home, right? Then you lose to the 49ers the week after, right? Who do you guys play? The Chargers on the road, and you win by 3, 20-17. Not an impressive win. And let's see Dak's numbers there.
But a win's a win.
A win's a win.
A win's a win, no matter how.
I agree. But I'm saying, out of all the wins that you get after a loss, right? The third one was against the Eagles, and you played the Giants after, right? Again, that was at home for the Cowboys too. We are the best team you guys are going to play after a loss. Yes or no?
Yes. No, after a loss, no. You guys.
Not this year. I'm saying after a loss. This is out of the Cowboys, Chargers. I'm sorry. Out of the Chargers, who was it? Chargers, Giants, and Patriots were the best of those 3 teams.
We're the best team we've ever faced. I'll tell you that much.
They played the 49ers.
49ers.
49ers
the
are up
best
there.
team, and they
I said best
They
team
basically waxed us. I mean, that was like no discussion. But they do have the most talented team.
They're very good.
Their roster is just undeniably.
They're good,
just
they're good.
Amazing, you know.
And similar to like how the Bills, obviously they're in our division, but the Bills like kind of still have our number. The Niners also just have your number too.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
like,
The last
they're very
few,
good
the
too,
last,
but I'm
the last
saying
few
like that.
years, they
Like, that's
had
like
a
our
number we
thing,
don't.
like-
So we'll see.
Now we're a team right now that I'm not trying to be biased, but I do believe because of one thing, our defense is good, man. Our defense is
Our defense
good.
is better than good. Our defense is phenomenal.
It's like something, and you guys have a great defense too. Phenomenal defense. I do think it's going to be hard to score points this week for both teams. Like I do think this is going to be like a true late December game. Obviously, weather's not really a factor, but
I hope it's hot. I hope it's hot as hell.
it's going to be like it's going to be nice.
Sun
It's going to be
a little
nice.
chilly right now. This is why we're
I know,
outside.
They're gonna
I
feel
like
like
this.
they're honestly. They're gonna
Drinking
probably
whiskey,
honestly. They're gonna feel like 72 degrees inside the
Yeah.
fucking dome.
Yeah.
Like that's what
Yeah.
it's gonna feel like. Maybe a little warmer, but the reality is, no one has been able to fucking score on us when our defense is fucking healthy. It's specifically when Ramsey's in the game. Now we're maybe gonna have Holland back. Our D line is on a fucking tear. We'll see. Yeah,
And X too.
and then X will probably be back.
X and Elliott, hopefully. If we get those guys back, so here's my thing. When you compare the defenses, if you compare them, the best player on the field is Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is phenomenal. I think he is the
By
best.
far the
Relax
defensive
with
side.
by far.
No,
Defensive
by
side of the
far.
Relax.
On both sides of the ball?
He's the best one this season. We still got heavy hitters like Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, I got 2 likes now.
Like Chubb. Oh my God, I've got 15. I think we are overall the better defense.
I could agree. You know
Yeah.
why? Because of our linebacker position. You
Yeah.
know what the Bills
David
just
Long's
did to
been
us?
awesome for
You know
us,
what
so.
the Bills
Isn't he,
exposed
oh,
our
he's Tennessee.
linebacker
He's from
position
Tennessee.
like
Yeah.
no other team has? Because losing Van Der Esch, losing another linebacker in the year, I think we lost a third linebacker. We're very thin, so what happens is our run game, we never stacked the box. We just had an extra DB out there.
You better stack the
trying
box
to-
against us, my friend.
No, but you know what? You know what? If we force Tua to throw the ball, if we actually stop,
Oh,
that-
force him, please.
I beg
that's where there's going to be trouble. Don't forget.
Force him to throw 200 at Tyreek. I dare you.
No, don't forget he was in the backfield. Who set the NFL record for most pick sixes this year?
I am not scared of him.
I couldn't
he
be less
covers.
scared.
He covers wide receiver 2s
Listen,
and 3s.
Listen,
Waddle was gonna cook him.
what did
if they
Stephon
dare put him on
Gilmore
Reek?
just do to AJ Brown?
AJ Brown bum. There's no Reek.
Hey,
The open
We
fit-
need him to fucking score points for
The
us this week.
Just kidding, AJ.
Yeah, you do it for fantasy.
Yeah,
fantasy.
yeah.
Fantasy.
Stephon Gilmore locked AJ Brown. Like
I think
no one
Stephon Gilmore's good.
Has locked. He was 2019 Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore is gonna get it. Like
Isn't DJ
his,
Reek
his
good?
knees are gonna be
They
shaking
wanted
going
to
up against
put him
Reek.
on top.
Yeah.
Guy's gonna see Reek and Oh, boom, right by him.
When you got Mike McDaniel calling plays, you can have the best personnel on the other side of the ball. He's just gonna scheme some shit up, and he's gonna make it impossible.
I just hope McDaniel doesn't do like the pitch 5 yards behind the line.
I think
yeah.
he learned. He called a hell of a game against the Jets. He ran the ball how he's supposed to. The one bad call that he had was that pitch on like 2nd and 2 on the 2-yard line.
Listen, here's my serious prediction. Whoever scores the first touchdown,
I love it,
in this game is going to win.
Okay. What happens if no touchdowns are scored in this game?
Then we win.
I don't know.
Your kicker, actually,
Talk about
your
it.
kicker's better than
I
ours.
wouldn't bet against him. It's because our kicker is like 31 for 31. I mean, he's having the most. He wasn't even a kicker in college. Most ridiculous. I mean, he has having an insane year. I mean, he kicked a
That's
60,
definitely not gonna happen.
55.
Yeah. Especially
But
not at the Rock.
The reason why I believe that the first touchdown is going to be the key is because the Cowboys excel when they're up. When they have a lead, they just have like this rush, like, all right, we have the lead, now let's attack them. When the Dolphins have the lead, I feel like the Dolphins are the same way. Wilkins and Chubb are like, hey, we have the lead, let's put pressure on them to make them feel they have to catch up to us.
Yeah.
And I truly believe whoever scores that opening drive touchdown, or let's say the following possession scores a touchdown, is going to win the game, and that's my prediction. I think it's going to be the Cowboys, and the Cowboys, when they take leads and they just keep it rolling. They force you to do uncomfortable plays in the backfield. Parsons gets after it. Then Tua has to scramble. If Tua gets out of the box or you force him to run, the Cowboys won. Because, I mean, how many yards has Tua rushed this year? I mean, what, a combined 50? He does
50.
If that would be way lower.
Maybe like 30.
He
Yeah,
he
probably
throws
like at
it
30.
so fast.
He throws it so fast, but if you get him uncomfortable, just a little bit flinching, he's gonna.
I agree,
all the
but I
think it's gonna come down to.
I think that's pretty much any quarterback in the NFL. You know, outside of maybe a Mahomes and a Josh Allen, that they're very good outside of the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Isn't it crazy?
Lamar,
we haven't talked about
Lamar's awesome. I love Lamar.
Lamar.
I was watching him in that Jacksonville game. I thought he looked great. I do think though that he kind of has some sort of limitations though when throwing the ball. Still, I still do. I still generally believe that.
I love Lamar.
But
he throws
outside of that,
sometimes he has the deep ball. Like when I saw like the other day when he played, he just throws it to Isaiah Likely. He goes up for like 2
yeah,
DBs,
exactly. He
catches.
throws a jump
I'm
ball.
like, great throw, but I
That's
think
good.
that's
I mean, trust your guys.
Yeah,
you know,
you're just trusting the personnel after Mark Andrews. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that hurt.
That hurt me. My fantasy wise.
I've got something for you. So if your prediction is correct, according to the Hard Rock Sportsbook, shout out Hard Rock sponsors, the Miami Dolphins are favored to be the first team to score.
Okay.
So we will win now, thanks to you.
Okay. So you think you're going with Vegas then? Are you following Vegas?
Vegas always knows.
Vegas
always
best.
knows.
But you know what happens? I mean, you're talking to a Jinx professional.
That is true. You're
the one that just mentioned it.
I love that you're saying that you're gonna win.
That's you never heard
the Lou Jinx.
Wait, no, what's the Lou Jinx?
This guy, oh my god.
I love jinxing, and let's move this over here. I mean, I noticed that a while ago, but I just want to move it back.
Well, when your name is Lou, that starts with L. I mean,
Yeah.
all you do is take
That's all
L's
it
as a
was, bro.
Cowboys
Yeah, put it
fan.
I need to get it for the camera, dude.
That's a good camera
Actually,
shot.
here you can wear it. You can. It's your birthday. It's your Christmas gift, dude. You gotta. So Lou here is very infamous for calling games way too early,
I do love jinxing.
and like it's automatic. Like we're in I have chat like me, him, and Javi, and this guy we'll be watching a game. He goes, "This game's over," and they they could be up 35.
He probably did that
and
when the
they'll lose.
Dolphins were fucking playing against the fucking
No,
Titans.
but he already called his shot, so he's locked in for the Lou Jinx.
Yeah, there's no going back now.
But don't you forget who just brought up Vegas and a lock. I'm just saying. I'm
That's
just
what I
saying.
do.
I'm just here.
Listen,
I'm here.
That's what I do for my job. I provide
This
locks.
whole week, I'm gonna be silent.
Too late. We
Not
got you on
word.
camera, dude.
No,
You're
no,
done.
no.
Dude, I'm replaying it.
We're still gonna kill you guys, but
You just lost it.
that's from the heart.
That's from the heart.
That's just from the heart.
Which the Cowboys don't
I
have.
truly, yes, they do.
Well, you're the one who said it, not me.
Yes, they do.
So who's gonna win you guys this game? Who's the guy that's gonna step up and carry the boys to a victory against the Finns?
Parsons.
How
You know
so?
why? I feel like last game, was horrendous.
He lines up what on the right or the left, or they move him around everywhere.
They move him nonstop.
Armstead's gonna have him in
the middle.
a pretzel.
He's on the right. He's on the left. And I understand that Tua is the fastest. I mean, what's his? It's like 2.3 seconds. He's releasing the ball.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, one little hesitation, and if Parsons gets after him, he is not escaping, not for a split second. And I'm telling you, Parsons is gonna have. I think that's truly my prediction. He's gonna have a 3-sack game, and a fumble recovery. That's my prediction.
That's bold.
3-sack game and a fumble recovery.
My lock of the week is Micah Parsons under 1 sack. I think Teron Armstead's going to put him in a pretzel. I think that he's kind of washed already. He peaked so high. This guy's washed. Like Micah Parsons.
Did you not just see what he did to Lane Johnson?
Lane Johnson's in Teron Armstead, baby.
8-time Pro Bowler Lane Johnson. Did you not see the work he just put on it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was utterly embarrassing.
Is his name Austin Jackson?
Good point, Pooch.
Hey, exactly. Hey, whoa. AJ's got to get healthy.
Yeah.
He's dealing with that oblique injury.
That's the same thing that this guy's got.
Well,
Zach
Martin.
No, Martin's got a quad injury, which that's sneaky bad for you guys.
Yeah,
because our D line will eat.
Yeah.
Chubb
over 4 sacks.
I agree.
Well, that was going to be my lock. Was that Chubb was going to finish with more sacks than Parsons?
Does Chubb and Wilkins, do they line up on the left side or right side?
Wilkins right in the middle, and then
interior.
Chubb's usually
Wilkins
right.
Chubb's right, and either like a Van Ginkel or Alba or on the left was Phillips before.
Because on the left side of our line, nothing goes through there.
That's fine.
With Tyler Smith and Tyrone.
Perfect for Chubb.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lockdown defense. Now, on the right side, if Zach Martin's out.
Do you guys have a guy that will gush blood out of his nose and finish a game?
No.
Because they have no
His name's AVG. You ain't blocking that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is probably in the box like, hey, clean that guy up. He looks a little dirty.
No, my true prediction is that Tyreek's gonna have 260 yards. I think
would be electric.
I think Tyreek's gonna have over 200. If he's healthy, he's gonna have over 200 yards.
That would be electric.
He's gonna make up for lost time. There's no one on your team that can cover him. There's no one in the NFL that can cover him.
That would be electric.
That
would be electric.
Yeah. When you say that, what comes to mind? Just comes to mind Tua's old habits
of what, throwing bombs to Waddle?
No. Just chucking the ball up like, hey, I hope you're there in the right position.
And Reek's always there.
Have you watched a Dolphin game this year? Tua hasn't done that this year at all.
No. That's why I said. That's why I said he hasn't this year.
Exactly.
But if he goes slightly back to his old habits, I'm like, you know what? Let me chuck this down. Let me leave it a little shorter. And our guys go up for that ball. You don't understand, dude. We have an electric DBs. Gilmore and Bland are gonna. You know what?
Dude, they're gonna be 20 yards behind Reek.
Second motor lock of the week.
I'll make a phone call really quick. Yo,
Second
Reek, please smoke him this week.
Darren Bland, pick 6. Darren Bland, pick 6 to the house.
Okay.
Book it.
I've got a
Darren
prediction.
Bland gets benched at halftime.
Yeah. I've
couldn't cover Reek or Waddle.
Also, because based on your thinking that if Tua, let's say he reverts to some imaginary, what La La Land, then Doc's gonna, revert back to his normal ways, and I'm expecting 17
Tua
picks.
will be in La La
record.
Land if you go down 14-0. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now.
But
whoever gets the
that ain't
lead,
gonna happen.
Yes, it is gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. Listen, this is the thing. Our offense. Just look at the teams comparatively. Cowboys, very good season. Congratulations. This is where it ends. You put two
off of what stats?
Tua,
we're in the playoffs. Are you guys in the playoffs?
Listen.
Are you?
I'm sorry.
Let's look at the AFC and the NFC right now.
Are the Dolphins in the playoffs?
We'll be in the playoffs in about.
Ask me at Sunday around like 8 o'clock.
I'm asking you right now. It's a yes or no.
No, we don't. We don't play in the joke NFC.
Exactly. So until you guys are in the playoffs,
we have the same record.
Yeah,
but I don't want to hear it.
No, it's okay. We don't want to play the playoffs yet. We'd rather the harder road. Anyway, you compare the teams.
Try harder and have to beat all bad teams.
Tua over Dak, easy. Our weapons over your weapons, easy. I'll give you the line, your O line over our O line. Defense, Micah Parsons, sure he's nice. Defense, Dolphins better. I'll give you your kicker too. That's a pretty whomping discrepancy, my friends. And
listen, I'm gonna mention something. Besides whoever wins this game, the Dolphins, especially, you know what? The Dolphins do not want to lose this game
Well, we don't want to lose this game, that's for sure.
You have to play the Bills in Week 17 the way they just played the
18,
Cowboys.
but
You guys are in so much trouble. It's not even funny.
I wouldn't say we're in trouble, but I don't think anybody
We're
wants that.
gonna have clinch to the AFC East by then. We're gonna bench all our guys as a bye week.
I'm just saying.
I hope so.
Beat
You
the
do not
Ravens
want to
next
face
week.
that Bills team because I saw
They're
Josh Allen.
That
was
team's scared of the
literally-
sun, so I'm not worried about it. That team's fucking terrified of the
Bills
sun.
Mafia is scared of the sun. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, we spoke a little bit about being irrational fans, and like I mentioned, I'm an irrational fan. Lou here's an irrational fan.
That was something that we talked about last time Lou was on the pod.
Bills fans irrational. I mean, I've never seen a fan base talk more for a team that's never won a Super Bowl.
I do.
Pipe down, little bro.
Oh.
Wait, who's this?
The Bills.
Oh,
I was gonna say Eagles. Eagles are by far.
Yeah, they won recently.
Yeah, but cry Eagles cry. Like.
Yeah.
Forget that.
But I still think the Cowboys are one of the most irrational fan bases I've ever seen in my life. The thing is with the Cowboys, and you kind of you exemplify.
We
this.
live rent free in everyone's mind.
No,
In
no.
America's
If you were
mind,
good,
yes, we
if
do.
you were good,
if you were
We
okay,
live
yeah. If you guys are good, you would live rent free in someone's head.
No.
What are
Why
you?
is-
Stephen
No
A.
one's
owns
stressing
you.
about you guys.
No. I'm not talking about stress, but why is it every single day, week in, week out, people cannot stop talking about the Cowboys? What do you think that is?
That's not because you guys live rent free. That's because media dollars are going to where they fucking get views, and
why
you
do the
guys are
Cowboys get so
America's
many
team.
views? Because we
No.
live rent free in everyone's mind.
Absolutely
Yes,
not.
Yes,
No.
everyone loves the Cowboys.
No,
We're
actually, it's the actual opposite.
we're
Everyone hates the Cowboys. That's why you get so much
team.
coverage.
We're America's team. We
Biden, America's team. Jesus.
God.
You can cut that.
Let's
cut
okay.
the feed.
Okay,
no
now
politics. God, this is why we watch sports.
Here we go.
Please don't start.
Let's explain you were born in Miami. You're a Cowboys fan, so let's explain how you're a Cowboys fan too. On top of all of this,
So let's explain.
because you sound like a Cowboys, Lakers, Yankee fan combined.
I cannot stand the Yankees and I cannot stand the Lakers.
What is it? The
It
trifecta?
really started in 1997, the day I was born.
Mhm.
I came home and my dad immediately just got a one piece with an Emmitt Smith jersey. Like, hey, you're a Cowboys fan.
And why is he a Cowboys fan?
He grew up in an era in the 90s. What?
I'm about to call your dad right now.
Call him.
Call him. Tell him we need an explanation on his Cowboy fanhood.
Let him explain it. Shout out to Pops.
TV answer. He's probably, why the hell is David calling me?
So I can imagine why you're calling.
Listen, I told you I had to get you on the pod here. I'm sitting next to your son, and we're breaking down the game, and he wanted me to call you and ask you why you told him last night what the Dolphins are going to win by 50. Can you explain that?
Oh my God, I don't know who said that. You're probably talking about another game, not the Cowboys Dolphin game.
Lou, I need you to explain how you became a Dolphin fan here, and
how did I truly become a Cowboy fan?
You know what? I was I love the running game, and the Cowboys always had a great running game. Even before Emmitt Smith, we had Tony Dorsett, and it was a beauty to watch. I mean, the way, the patience, and then the power breaking through other players. It's just impressive to see an athlete like that. It's now it's becoming more athletic when you go in the air, but before it used to be about a running game. It used to be a balanced game, but the running game really set the pace in any football team. And I mean, we had Emmitt Smith and Tony Dorsett back-to-back running backs in the Cowboys. So it was a beautiful thing to watch, man, honestly.
And that's why you've cursed your son for the rest of his life.
Why did you make me a fan?
We're not Dolphin fans. We just have passion for the Cowboys, and it really is what it is.
Yeah.
And then I have to throw that in there. Then we had Jimmy Johnson. Well, we were big fans.
Well, that's your second mistake.
And I know that hurts you. It cuts you deep.
Well, they're not UM. It's the University of
FIU
Coral Gables.
fan, and I love the FIU too, but you had that going for you as well. So we just grew up in it.
Listen, I just hope you're ready for Sunday 4 p.m. because I'm gonna be storming your house, and it's about to be a tidal wave of a pod of fins.
Are you gonna
Well,
dye the
here's
mashed
thing that I
potatoes
saw.
teal and
I mean,
orange?
the Cowboys got pretty. They got beat up this weekend. I mean, there's no excuses for it. And but what happened the weekend before with the Dolphins?
Hey man, we don't talk about that. We moved
best
on.
Best thing that's ever happened to us.
Yeah, they're about to shed a tear if you bring that up.
We're not looking. We take that as motivation, and basically we're not going to lose again.
We're a better team because of it.
Well, I get it, and you guys are at home, so you have that advantage to us. But that loss was significant because, I mean, the only touchdown that was scored was by the defense.
I know we felt bad that the offense was scoring so much that we just wanted to give the defense some love because we score so many points usually.
That team better not show up on Sunday because
and Tyree, I think, was ready to play. I think they just sat him out because it was the Jets.
Tyreek had a decision in that.
So I think they were trying to save him up and make sure he was healthy for the Cowboy game because that's going to be the tail. Yeah. And I think where the Cowboys also kind of lean back somewhat, in my opinion, because they're already in the playoffs. So we still have to fight for it.
The apple does not fall. The apple does not fall far from the tree, my friend.
But think about it. If you're the Cowboys, you want the division because you want to play at home.
So they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder, playing at home.
No heart.
And Kyrie's been resting for 2 weeks.
He's ready for 200.
So they got some edges on there.
He's right. Tyreek's ready for 260. That was my prediction.
Get his score predictions.
Oh yeah, Lewis. I need your score prediction for Sunday.
Oh wow, this is out of the blues, but you know what? We're gonna go 23-17 Cowboys.
All right, I like that. I like that.
Good prediction.
It goes with our low-scoring game.
Yeah,
23-17 for both those teams. Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome, Lewis. Thank you for accepting my call. I know you were up just waiting for me to call you.
Oh yeah, that's what I do every day. Just waiting for you to get a prediction for this week's.
Awesome. Well, I will see you Sunday. Well, probably before, but I'll see you Sunday.
Cheers.
Cheers. I love your
I'm starting to realize a common theme between Cowboys fans. It's like, yeah, we're already in the playoffs. Why do we need to win? What type of mentality is that?
No heart.
It's not a mentality.
What happened to let's win the division? You guys don't even have that clinched. Isn't that worth something?
Most teams go to the Super Bowl for what reason? Besides being an excellent team.
Home field advantage.
Yes, and being healthy going to the postseason. Health. So
health is wealth, baby.
So you're just gonna sit your guys this week?
No, we're not. No.
Yeah, just sit them. Sit Mika, bro. Oh my God, bro. My God, are you kidding me?
I'm just saying those teams that tend to be healthy postseason tend to be.
But you already clinched the playoffs, so sit Mika, sit CeeDee. I mean, Dak, I'm not worried about.
We clinched playoffs, but the Eagles just lost. We're the number one in the NFC.
Who do you guys play after us? Like, what do you guys have remaining schedule wise?
So we play. I know our last game of the season is Commanders, and then we play the Lions. Now the Lions, I don't know, man.
So I'm seeing a 10-7 record for the Cowboys at the end of the year.
Is that a lock?
Lock it in.
You know what? I'll give you 11. You guys beat the Commanders. You guys can't lose to the Commanders.
Yeah, and I hope the Eagles lose. At least one of us lose to them, but I really hope it's the Eagles because I feel like they're not really playing for anything at this point. But I mean, they played.
They're still only one game behind you guys, though.
The Eagles' remaining schedule is
a joke.
Yeah, it's Washington. No, it's.
Well, let's look at this right now.
I think they play the Giants.
They play Giants
twice.
And Washington.
I think they played Giants. No, they played them once. I don't know.
So you're just playing for home field advantage at this point?
Yeah, because they locked in a playoff spot. Like they're in.
But you know what's incredible? You know what's incredible?
Where did you want to play as a Cowboys fan? Like, where's somewhere you don't want to play?
The Niners.
Yeah, in San Fran for sure. Which that's going to happen already.
Well, the Niners are probably going to be the 1 seed. So let's say you take it easy and you're a wild card team.
That is a huge game. They play Baltimore this weekend.
Outside of the Niners, would you not want to see? Like,
we need the Niners.
Like being the home team.
That would be nice.
You know, the 5th seed right now, how it sits, if the Cowboys were the 5th seed, you play the Bucs.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
And when we did something last year, and I was there, let me tell you something. That was nice to see.
Did the Bucs just have a good win this week, or it was like against
the Bucs? Have been
they beat the Pack.
They're streaking really late.
Baker Mayfield's having a quiet, pretty good season.
He is.
I'm a huge Baker guy, man. Yeah. I'm rooting hard for him. I really hope they make it to the playoffs, host a playoff game. Hope he wins a playoff game.
And then we smack around silly.
That's fine. Yeah, good for you guys. But shit, if you lose to Baker, whoo, wouldn't that be a sight? I think you guys trade Dak and fucking go in and all in on Baker.
Nah, we don't trade Dak. Stop it. Just stop it. No, definitely not. Like I think Dak has showed us that and proved to us like, hey, listen, like how important having a good quarterback is, and not necessarily always relying on the running back position. Because since Zeke left departure, even Tony Pollard, he hasn't had like the best year. He's had like
trust me, I know.
But do you think
average team that when we need him, we use him? But it's really been Dak and CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb has had his best year of his career.
He looks awesome. Yeah, he's been great. And I do, again, think Dak's been great. But I will, like, the narrative has always been in the playoffs, you got to be able to run the ball and you got to play good defense, right? Like, that's always been the narrative. Do you still think that narrative still exists in today's game?
To an extent, because it's changed in terms of you've got guys like Mahomes. And
Right.
You've got guys like
Mahomes has kind of been like the guy I feel like that has changed that narrative.
And even I mean Philly did a lot on the ground, so there's that. No, you need a good quarterback. But
no, I'm not saying that you don't need a good quarterback, but
you need to rely more on
you're up by 7 in the fourth quarter. A running game is important.
You have to
kill time. You know?
I always go back to my argument. In the last decade, who are 2 quarterbacks that, besides having an amazing team, really shouldn't have won a Super Bowl? Joe Flacco and Nick Foles. Those are always 2 teams that I go back to.
There's always anomalies
yes, they won a
out there.
Super Bowl. You give them all the credit when credit's due.
Of course. They played well in those games too.
But and they play great in those teams, but those are 2 quarterbacks, and like those guys are not going to win it on an average team. Plain and simple. But you know what? Forget the running game.
I think it's more defense than the running game than anything.
Yeah.
No, dude, just win the damn game. That's it.
No shit.
Irrational whatever needs to be done, win the damn game, because the Cowboys love, and yes, this is a narrative. They get to playoffs, beat up on bad teams, have a winning record above 500, get to playoffs, and lose the first round. And that's just the narrative of the Cowboys.
I didn't know it was that simple.
20 years.
I didn't know it was that simple. Fuck, we've been doing it wrong all this time.
No,
God damn it.
Dude, just gotta win the freaking game. I don't care how. I don't care if it's a defensive touchdown. I don't care. Just win the freaking game at all costs.
I'll tell you what, you ain't winning this week, buddy. So, looks like you're gonna have to find a way to bounce back.
Listen, we'll see. I'll come on the podcast next week. How about that? I'll come back on the.
Oh, you come back on the podcast?
I will come back on the podcast.
We got to think about what he's gonna do. I don't even want him wearing a Philly jersey. That's not enough.
Would you guys like do a little bet?
Yeah, we love a bet.
Let's
do a little podcast. Well, you got a little bet, but let's do a podcast bet. Let's do a podcast bet. We don't have to decide it right now, but
okay, we'll decide.
We can think about it.
We'll throw it in the chat, and then when we post this on YouTube,
yeah.
Pin it.
Then people can decide on it.
Yeah, we'll let the fans decide.
But I'm down for a bet because I want to keep it interesting.
Yeah, something spicy.
It's got to be a lot, like
because this game is.
It is a lot. It is a big game for us.
We've been looking forward to this week. For
both, I do think there's more on the line for us than there is for them.
I've been waiting for 4 years.
I've been waiting my whole life.
When's the last time you played the Cowboys?
4 years ago. Yeah.
4 years ago?
In Dallas, I'm guessing?
In Dallas, yeah.
In Dallas.
Who was our quarterback at that time?
We were tanking that year. Thanks.
Who was it? Fitzy was our quarterback, or who was our quarterback?
No, 4 years ago was
20 years.
Wasn't it?
Was that
it was right before Tua. No, yeah, whoever was.
Jay Cutler?
It might have actually been Cutler. Actually, I think it was Cutler.
Cuts.
I think it was Cutler.
Cutsy.
I'll never forget the Cutler game. It was like either Sunday night or Monday night against New England when he freaking balled out. And I happened to be watching the game with a crap load of Patriot fans, and they were just stunned.
Oh, Jesus.
I was at the game where the Bears were at the top of the world, and Osweiler went like 461 and like 4 touchdowns on them.
Who?
Brock Osweiler.
Oh, Osweiler. Wow.
400-yard game where we beat the Bears when they had Khalil Mack, that they were hooping.
I can't even remember.
Khalil Mack, by the way, low-key having the most underrated season I've ever seen of a player.
Let's think about the way let's think about the way he started the year. He started, I think, the first 2 or 3 games without a sack.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden is leading. I think he leads the NFL right now in sacks.
We put him
up there.
We put him in a pretzel like we're gonna put Micah Parsons in a pretzel. So,
dude,
what?
Parsons is gonna destroy Tua.
Well, some of the bench edge rushers have.
You don't understand.
Irrational fan right here.
Not irrational.
The most irrational fan base I've ever heard. This guy actually thinks
no one's trusted our O-line all year, and they've exceeded expectations by a million. I'm not like that's like. I mean, obviously, respect to Parsons, but our O-line has been awesome this year. Even with
gotta get healthy.
all the injuries. Even with all the injuries,
I think Robert Hunt's coming back. Hopefully, too. He's another one.
That'd be big. So he takes out Cotton, or Cotton on the left side.
Robert, it'll be Cotton on
Cotton.
left and then Robert.
Cotton left guard. If Robert Hunt, if who plays right guard when Hunt's out? Jones, that's right.
Well, usually it's Liam, but now that Liam
And then if AJ doesn't play, Lamb will play right tackle, which he's been awesome.
Yeah, no complaints.
He's been awesome.
All right, let's do final scores.
Yeah,
Everything
we got our score predictions. You want to go first?
Yeah, go first.
I'm gonna do 27-13 Fins, and I'm gonna add a little bit of a little flavor in there. I think Ramsey's gonna get a pick 6.
Love that.
And like I said earlier, I think Chubb finishes with more sacks than your boy Parsons.
Okay.
All right, I've got Dolphins 40-0. I've got Tyreek Hill over 200 yards. I do have a Ramsey pick. I've also got an X pick. I've got a Cater Cahoon pick. I've got a Javon Holland pick, Deshaun Elliott pick.
Sounds like you're gonna lose a lot of money.
David Long pick, Van Ginkel pick. There's gonna be 9 picks in this game, so I gotta find the last guy. Wilkins pick.
What is the most interceptions in a game?
I don't know. But we're gonna break it this year.
We're gonna break it this week.
Right. So Tyreek over 200 and then Tua over 500. 40-0.
My prediction is gonna
If
be
that happens.
it's going to be 33-17. Cowboys win. Parsons is gonna have 3 sacks and a fumble recovery.
Okay.
Darren Bland's gonna
That's
have a
definitely
pick
not
6
gonna
to the house. And Dak is gonna throw for 250.
You're
with
right.
2 touchdowns.
Bland is. You know what? I'll give him the Bland pick 6. I will give him that because when Mike White comes in the fourth quarter when we're up by 30, Mike White's just gonna throw a bad pass and Bland's gonna take it to the crib to stack up his little
He's gonna
stat
have it
line.
before half.
Oh,
Yeah, but half of the fourth
Before
quarter.
half.
the irrational fan. This
Before
guy can't
half.
help himself. He can't help himself.
No. After the 9 picks he just mentioned, I can't help myself.
What? They're locks. Speaking of locks, on jump right into locks.
I did say one of my locks is going to be the. I kind of alluded to both of them already. I'm going to do 2-player bets. It's going to be, well, I guess Chubb over Parsons and sacks, and then Dak pick
Like that.
anytime pick.
My locks: Dolphins -1.5. Obviously, they're gonna win by 40. Dolphins -39.5. Easy. And then I like the over in the Bears Cardinals game, over 44.5.
Besides Cowboys,
Like that.
money line plus 115, mortar lock. My second lock of the week is Lions -3.5 away versus the Vikings.
All
I
right.
think the Lions are going to keep streaking all the way.
They've
to
been
the
such a
playoffs.
weird team this
They've
year.
been a
The
very
past
weird
month
team.
specifically.
Yeah, it's more of lately than anything.
I believe they do have the most dominant running game. To be honest, between Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery, I think that duo. I mean, are they both going to get 1,000 yards this year? I mean, that's pretty. I think they're close to. I mean, that's pretty
Probably,
impressive
yeah.
running game. And who doesn't like Dan Campbell, man?
Love Dan Campbell.
Dan
Love Dan.
Campbell since
I
when he
love
came
Dan,
out on
man.
Hard Rocks, and you really saw the heart from that guy. I mean, you don't see coaches like that.
I wanted to hire him as a Finns coach back
It's
in the day.
called Dolphins breeding right
True.
there.
Dolphin guy.
True, it is. And he was a tight end, no?
Well, he was a tight end for the Lions.
He was a tight end for
Or
the Lions
Saints,
for a
I
while.
think.
Or Saints.
Something like
Saints.
that,
I think he played for the Lions too, though.
He might have.
Yeah, pretty sure he played for the Lions too.
And he was on the
But he
coaching
was a
staff.
coaching. I forget
Yeah.
what
He
his
was- he was
position
our
was with the
interim,
Finns.
interim head coach, and we won a ton of games
Yes,
with him.
he was. Yeah.
So the guy can pump me up to do anything. Essentially.
The game that I'm looking
Lions
at,
3.5.
the game that I'm looking at
Book
here,
it.
I'm assuming C.J. Stroud's going to come back this week, right?
I would think so.
Likely out.
Likely
Oh,
out. Oh, that's why the spreads is
That's
what
my
it is.
Think about this. In my fantasy
Because the
league,
Browns are
I'm
2.5 point favorites on the road.
I'm in the chip in my fantasy league, and I have Lawrence and CJ Stroud both predicted to be out next week.
There's some quarterbacks right now that are playing some good ball that are on the waivers
Pick
though.
up Baker Mayfield.
Well,
No,
he's in a
he's
two
gone.
QB. He's in a 2 QB league.
No,
Oh,
it's
it's
one Q-
oh.
Right now, my option is Gardner Minshew.
Hey.
He's been playing good ball though.
Hey.
Minshew Mania.
Minshew magic, baby.
Listen, that line is that's
Yeah.
that's one of the best offensive
Are you
lines.
kidding
I mean, he
me?
just sits
How
right there.
hard would it be if fucking Minshew wins you your fucking fantasy
That'd be
championship?
lit.
You have to buy a Minshew jersey at that point.
I might have
Yeah.
to.
And grow out your
Do it with
mustache.
with
The
your
thing
money.
is that we only limit our league to 2 QBs, so I'd have to cut Lawrence because it's a dynasty league.
It's fine. It's a champion. Oh,
Oh,
who
wait.
cares?
Yeah, but CJ Stroud's my dynasty QB.
Yeah.
It's Trevor Lawrence,
Yeah.
but it's the Jaguars.
Wait, you don't have an
I
IR?
think you'll be okay.
Put them both on IR.
Yeah, but you're only our roster. You can only have 2 QBs on the roster.
Like in total,
Even
you're
on the
gonna
IR.
Really?
Damn, it's cool.
That's cool.
Just, I mean, it's
Dude,
it's
play no
freaking-
quarterback. Play no quarterback.
It's Trevor
Wait,
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is gonna play though.
Is he?
I thought he
He's in
was.
protocol still.
I would honestly start Gardner Minshew over Trevor Lawrence.
Chill, I'm starting him in the league.
When Gardner they're playing the Falcons do have a good defense. I will say that the matchup isn't super favorable there, but I'm a huge. Gardner
I'm curious to
Minshew
see how
guy.
this camera comes out, by the way, because I just blowing smoke right into it.
The light,
Dude, that looks great.
Trust me.
the light
the
literally
guy.
breaks right through the
Trust the
smoke.
guy behind the camera. We're good.
This is puffing smoke
I
right
have
into
another
this
question
thing.
for you guys.
Smoking that DAC
Talk
pack.
to me.
Besides the top 5 teams in the NFL right now, is there any sleeper teams that you think that can seriously make a run in the playoffs? Like any wild card spots? I mean,
Unfortunately, there is one.
We're not gonna say that.
No, we're not
don't
gonna say it.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
We're not.
Besides them, how about that? Another team.
Philadelphia Eagles.
No,
No, it's the Bills.
No, it's
I would say
But
honest
what do you guys have as the top 5?
top 5
Your top 5
power
teams
rankings,
right now. Right,
like
right now. top
AFC
5
and
teams.
NFC.
total in totality.
I'll put the Niners at 1. I
For the
mean,
love of God, don't say Dolphins.
the way we're playing right now,
Dolphins are
My
the
God.
Dolphins are
You're
number
talking
1,
about
so.
a rational fan base.
Let's go one by one. Let's go one
Exhibit
by
A.
one. So top 5 teams down the
Top
line.
5.
you want me to start at 5 or you want me to start at 1? How about that?
Go 1 through 5.
1 through 5.
1 through 5.
Hey! Don't scream at me. All right, let's do it this way. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with my fucking gut. I'm not gonna let you Cowboy fan fucking convince me that it's not.
Irrational fan base.
All right.
Jesus.
San Fran 1. I'm gonna put the Fins at 2. I'm gonna put Kansas City at 3. And then I'm gonna put Baltimore at 4. And then
Say it.
you guys are gonna hate me for this.
You're gonna put Buffalo.
I'm gonna put Buffalo at 5.
Wow. Do you want me to go next, or you want to go?
No.
I've got 1, the Dolphins, easy. 2, the Niners. 3, the Ravens. 4, the I'll still give the respect to the Chiefs. I'll go 5 boys.
I really
Fuck
wanted
the
to put
Bills.
Baltimore in the top
Remember-
5. I don't know
got
what it is.
Baltimore. I
Look,
think
they're
they're-
11-3. They have every right to be in the top 5.
Sneak it away.
They just find ways to win. I don't get it. And you got to give them props for that. I mean, it's hard to win in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Lamar is great. Lamar is really great. And the defense is good. But if you told me Kansas City and the Ravens in the playoffs, I think
The
Kansas
playoffs,
City
yeah.
wins.
It's tough. The playoffs, the Chiefs, it's hard to bet against them.
It's so hard to get bet against fucking
Only
Andy Reid and
reason I'll bet
Mahomes.
against them is because that receiving core
It's very
is
I agree.
god
I agree.
awful.
I
And
agree.
Mahomes he can do everything in ability to throw the ball downfield.
But you know what
But
they
if
have
they
this year
hit
that they
your
haven't
hands
historically
like
had? Their defense
this,
is good.
And you cannot catch the ball.
Their defense
That's
is
a
good.
huge issue. They do
Rasheed
have-
Rice is going to get hot. They're going to find a way to get Kelsey involved. I feel like they have to find a way to get Kelsey involved.
Kadarius Toney needs to get cut.
Remember,
I
Mahomes.
feel bad for him, man.
Since Mahomes has been in the league, he has not missed an AFC Championship game. That's an insane.
That is
stat.
actually wild.
He has not missed one AFC Championship since he's been in the league.
That's impressive.
So you can never count him out.
Yeah.
All right, my top 5. Number 1, 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Ravens. Number 3, Cowboys. Number 4, Dolphins. And number 5, Bills.
All right.
I don't hate that top 5.
I do, but it's okay.
If
made
the
one
Cowboys
mistake.
lose this weekend, do they fall out of the top 5?
The list is fluid. The list is fluid. The list is fluid. It can change any week.
Every week. They can drop from 5 to 15 real quick.
Yeah. Oh man.
Next week you do another
d-
top 5.
You put your locks already? Everyone's good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Anything
Oh, yeah.
else?
Line
I'm
is
Anything-
minus
I'm
3.5.
so ready.
We'll
I'm so
determine a
ready.
bet. We do got to make a bet.
We'll let
Make
the
a
fans
bet.
decide.
We'll let them figure
We'll
out.
let the comments. Top comment.
It's also a big fantasy week for a lot of people this week, either semifinals or championship. So, good luck to everyone out there that's in there.
Yeah,
All
Noche
the
Buena.
toilet bowl winners, congratulations.
I won one.
Were you a toilet bowl winner?
Last shout out to Jose.
Winning meaning you are the actual last place person, or
No,
winning
no,
because you avoided the last
I was-
person.
in
When
one
I
of my
mean the toilet
leagues-
bowl winners, I mean the people that actually lost.
Oh, like Eric.
Yeah.
No, I avoided one, and the punishment was 24 hours in a Waffle House.
Oh,
We were
And,
debating about doing that.
And I played Jose, who was the second most points in the league. He just got popped on every week.
Are
And-
you fucking
and-
serious?
and-
Second most points in the last
second
place
most
game?
points in the last
Whoa,
game.
that's
And it goes up against me. My team barely puts up
That's
100 a
tough.
week, and I didn't even pop. I put up 115 and beat him.
oh.
Fantasy's so brutal, bro.
It's so much luck.
It's so
My
fucked
gosh.
up.
I just
Yeah.
lost to the Raiders defense by 25
Yeah,
points.
yeah, no.
I
Any
was the
given
number
week,
one
I need to
scoring
get out of it.
team. Here comes the Raiders on Thursday night, 25 points. I'm like, great
Yeah.
start.
Nelson Fernandez, I am coming for you.
Hell yeah.
There's no way in hell you're going to three-peat. I'm not gonna even let you get in the ship this week. You beat me twice in the ship. You fucking have made this whole league's life hell. If you win this
True.
league, you're kicked out. You are clearly
Love that.
more elite than all of us in fantasy. I will say that. But you know what? I'm gonna let you stay in the league because I'm gonna beat you this week, and we're gonna call it there.
And just in
okay?
case he doesn't, I got you next
Yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah, please.
Me and Ski. Gonna
Please.
take it home finally.
You and Calderon are gonna go at it this week.
I know.
All I gotta
Bills
say is
fan.
one more thing. Here we go.
Oh no. Cut the stream.
Cut it.
Cut
It's
it.
all right.
Cut it. Two
It's-
times.
What's gonna happen is he's gonna say, "Here you go," and we're gonna edit it to you with like a little Dolphins football.
I've got one more thing to say, and you're gonna hear, and you're gonna hear. Miami has it all. The greatest football team.
All right.
Oh, man,
Hey,
it's gonna be a fun
well,
week.
thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Good to have you back.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, my
Don't
friend.
forget your
Always
Christmas
a pleasure.
gift, okay?
Yeah, don't forget it.
Yeah.
And
I'll
just
leave
frame it on
I'll
your
leave
wall.
it in your stocking.
And you know, I think this will be our last one before Christmas. So Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas,
Christmas.
Happy Kwanzaa. What else is there? Hanukkah.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Happy birthday, baby Jesus. Feliz
we'll
Noche
do one before
Buena.
New Year's, I think.
We'll do one before New Year.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. If we don't, for whatever reason.
Make sure you're following Johnny Cuba for Noche Buena
Yeah,
essentials.
if you need some Johnny Cuba, or if you need plans for your Noche Buena, Johnny Cuba has got you covered with all of that. So
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
make sure to get stocked up on some Johnnies.
Oh yeah. Best beer in the game, baby.
Yes, sir.
Gotta represent.
All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you next week. Dolphins.